Hey guys, welcome to the new mini-series on the routers that I'm looking at. And this one first, obviously, is the TalkTalk Wi-Fi Hub. So I'm going to do an unboxing here and then a demonstration and a basic review and configuration of this router. There's two variants to the TalkTalk Wi-Fi Hub. They look very similar, but they actually call the other one the TalkTalk Router rather than the Wi-Fi Hub, which we'll get into. And we're going to do a comparison video into that in a future video. I'm going to compare the difference between the two and how they work and operate like that. But for this one, this is the Wi-Fi Hub, which is dispatched with most of TalkTalk's fibre products. It's more the high-end speed ones, so it's more the up to 67 or 76, depending on how you want to phrase it. And the what they call G-Fast, or the up to 150 megabits a second versions that TalkTalk do. So basically, this is the Sagemcom Fast router, which is more numbers on the side here, so there's a bit more information for you. So it's the Fast 5364, which was commonly sold as their main flagship router that they were selling since 2018 for all their fibre connections. They don't sell an ADSL, but you can buy it for £120 off their website if you want to upgrade it to yourself. So basically, this is what it looks like when you receive it. This is a brand new router, by the way. I haven't actually been sent this by TalkTalk. I purchased this myself in a cheaper deal elsewhere. So I'm going to compare the difference between this one and the other one in a future video, but I've already mentioned that. Anyway, let's get into this router here. Obviously, the packaging, you can tell this has got like a bronze theme to the front of the router, which you'll see in some of their adverts. So let's have a look and see what we've got inside. So obviously inside it gives you the basic how to set it up in the background here as well, but it also gives you a nice setup guide as well, which you can actually see how to install it, plug it in, switching it on, and to actually connect your own devices to the router and stuff like that, and a bit of tips to boost your Wi-Fi signal around your house as well. So that's a quick little guide if you want to read that. It tells you what's inside the box. So obviously we've got exactly what it says in the box. So we've got the Wi-Fi hub itself, which is this router here. We've got the broadband cable and microfilter, or DSL cable, RJ11 cable, whatever you want to call it. That's the same thing. We've got the power supply over here. We've also got the RJ45 Ethernet cable, and we've got another extra power supply. Microfilter. The setup guide I just mentioned there, and the Wi-Fi settings guide is obviously on the back of the router. So on the back of the router, let's take it out of its packaging first. So as we can see, it's got like a bronze theme to the inside the black holes. There is a bronze theme. So this is the Sagemcom router version. You can tell that because of the colours behind the back of it. So obviously on the side we've got more vents. And the bottom, more vents. On the back, we've got basically, it gives you a brief overview of, well, what it looks like from the back. So we've got the power on and off switch here. Obviously you can have that on all the time or turn it off whenever you want to turn the router off, say in an evening or whatever. We've got the reset switch part if you want to reset the router because it's not functioning right. We've got the power input there. The WAN port, which is for if you like have a fibre modem, or for example if you buy TalkTalk's G-Fast service or up to 150 megabits fibre service, you'd plug the OpenReach modem into there. Likewise, if you still want to use the old OpenReach modems that you use for fibre before you upgrade it to this router, you can still do that and plug it into here. So there's not a problem there by doing that. Ethernet, you've got up to 4 gigabit Ethernet ports. That's also gigabit as well. Ethernet. You've also got a standard DSL jack for your broadband. This is a VDSL, ADSL router that has a Broadcom chipset as well in it as well, so that's good for line stability and various factors such as that. So it's a good all-around, so far it seems to be quite a good router. Got the wireless protected setup button, which you can use if you want to be able to basically, instead of grabbing this card and looking at the wireless password, you can press that button and then try to basically go to the device that you want to join to this wireless network. And then basically connect to it, and automatically the password will transfer from here to that device. And I wouldn't recommend using that. It's got a bit of a security flaw in that, which some of you may have noticed by even just me explaining that to you what the security flaw could be. But we'll get into that when we come to configuring the router. Obviously a bit more information on the back here, wireless passwords and stuff like that. I'm not bothered about anyone seeing this here because this is just a demo router. It's not an actual router that's going to be live at the present moment, so I'm not bothered about what people see on the back of here. So that's what it looks like here. You can actually see, you can see through the vents and the hardware inside in there. On the top we've got more vents here, and obviously I've just shown you the Wi-Fi card that comes out. You can write your own Wi-Fi network and password if you change the name of it and password for whatever reason. So obviously it just stands up pretty much like that. So the stand only comes out a little bit, so I'm going to just move it here to show you how it stands. So it pretty much stands like that. So there's nothing really major to it. It just stands quite nicely. It's not a heavy router really. It's got a bit of weight to it. It's more than the old Huawei routers that that TalkTalk used to supply. It's got a bit of weight to it this time. So further in the box, obviously we've not got much more in the box. We've got safety instructions, which no one ever reads, but it's there, and a bit more advice from TalkTalk on how to get the best Wi-Fi from your router. So obviously if you buy this or you get it with your TalkTalk service when you sign up, so obviously the first thing it says is you want to take it out of the box. Obviously guys, you hear how to do that, but I'm going to show you how you do it yourself as well. So if you want a bit more of a guidance on how to plug it in, I'll show you here. So obviously this will plug into your master socket, which is basically, you'll see it looks like that really on here, but I'll put a link to a photo here so you can actually see what it looks like. Basically you should have one of them sort of master sockets, and basically depending on how it looks, you'll plug this into the normal master socket, but if it doesn't have that and has a pre-filtered faceplate as it's called, and you'll have a port at the top and port at the bottom. If it has a port at the top, what you want to do is you want to plug that directly into the port in the top here. So you want to plug it from the microphones like I've just shown you here, plug it into the top here, and then plug this into the back of the router here, like this. So that plugs in, and that will then plug into the master socket on the top of the pre-filtered socket, as you can see here. So you don't need the microfilter, and you need to use it in other places in the house if you decide to have another phone, but you don't need to use it at that actual master socket if it has the pre-filtered faceplate. If it doesn't, then you will need this microfilter, and you'll plug this into the back of here, like so. You plug it into here. Obviously that came pre-plugged, so you don't need to worry about it, but when you come to do it yourself, but obviously that will be plugged into there, and then you just plug that into the back of here, like so, and then obviously you'll untangle that and plug it into your device of any options you wish. Same with Ethernet. If you want to plug an Ethernet device in, such as a laptop but you want it hardwired, or a computer hardwired, or anything like that, you just literally simple as you plug this in to the device, and then plug this into the device, and that one into the back of the router. Easy as that. Same with the power. Literally just plug it in like that, make sure it's switched on, and then you're good to go. So that's pretty much the unboxing of the TalkTalk wireless router. Not really much more to really say to add to this. Obviously, you can see here what it kind of shows and what's in the box. So yeah, that's pretty much the unboxing of this router. Next, we're gonna power it up, plug it in, and we're gonna do a bit of configuration, and then I'm gonna do a review. So I'm actually gonna do a bit of a wireless test on this to see how it performs wirelessly in different locations. Now, obviously, before we go into that, let me just please state that obviously that varies depending on your house, the location of where you live, and obviously how your house is constructed, and what objects you put in front of the router or nearby, what you've got running and what not like that, and what could interfere with signals around the area of this Wi-Fi router. So bear in mind what you may see from this router, you may not get in your house, or you may even get it better than what I'm showing you. So it really just depends on how your house is set up and what's running and what not like that, and the other electrical items and such like that.